A man was kicked out of Disneyland for attempting to do what he calls help the kids have a more educational experience by educating them on Donald Super's developmental stages and task theories. A few parents have started petitioning to have him let back in because they're realizing that it's never too early to start career planning.
Good evening and welcome to the Weekend Update. I'm Rachel Husband, and today we have a very special treat for you. We have an important guest joining us tonight. We would like to give a big welcome to musical recording artist Lord.
Hello. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm just doing wonderful. Today we wanted to talk to you about your journey into your career thus far and just get an overview of how you ended up where you are. But first off, it's hard to believe you are only 16 years old.
I actually get that a lot, like literally from everyone. Actually, it's kind of annoying. Everyone says to me all the time, oh, you're not gonna wanna do that forever, but I'm young and I'm happy. I mean, hello, have you seen my Grammy?
Well, Lord, you do have a good point, but Donald Super's self-concept theory explains the changes and experiences that occur to someone over a lifetime and how that interacts with one's occupational choices.
I mean, like, what does that even mean?
Well, many theorists look at personality and occupation choices together, but there really hasn't been anyone other than Super to believe that your experience over a lifetime would impact that as well. What you're doing right now may not be what you want to be doing 40 years down the road, 10 years, or even 5 years down the road. That's why it's so important to have such a good understanding of your personality, your interests, your values, and what you believe in.
Huh.
Well, Lord, why don't you tell me what some of your interests and values are?
Well, I mean, I love people. Obviously, you can tell by the fact that I do stellar performances every night. But sometimes I do miss normal everyday things. Like, I can't go to the store anymore. I mean, seriously, why can't I go get peanut butter? It's not that big of a deal. I want to do it in peace. Also, I really enjoy helping people, and I value my family, who I rarely see. But let's not get all sappy. I mean, hello, I make so much money.
But is that really what's most important to you? Making money?
I mean, it definitely makes my life easier, and I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want. So, I mean, it's kind of great.
I mean, have you ever given a thought as to what might happen farther down the road?
Well, I mean, I guess I do sometimes.
Sounds like you might be realizing some things about yourself right now.
I mean, you're kind of right. I guess I'm not going to be able to travel and live the life I have right now forever. I need to do some thinking and think of some other possibilities that, might happen down the road.
Well, let's brainstorm. You like helping people, you value relationships, and you love dealing directly with people.
Astrophysicist. Astronaut. CIA agent?
All right, let's think of something more realistic.
But I'm a recording artist that's sold millions and millions of albums. Anything's possible. Duh.
Okay, well, those ideas sound just great, but what do you think about working in counseling? You get to help people develop strong relationships and watch individuals grow.
How'd you know? Like, I secretly have wanted to do that my whole life. I'm gonna do it! Oh my god, I'm gonna go do it! I don't even know where to start, but I'm gonna go do it!
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We see that utilizing Super self-concept theory, you can learn more about yourself than you originally thought. You might find yourself a record-breaking recording artist who realizes that you would be happier working as a counselor. You just never know. That's been the Weekend Update, and I'm Rachel Husband. You stay classy, San Diego.
Breaking news. Taylor Swift appears to be going through yet another one of Super's mini cycles. Apparently, tired of having bad blood, and being so over boys, she has now been sighted with a new boy. Still under the age of 45, Swift is expected to have not yet entered Super's maintenance stage of development. While we might expect to see her well established at this age, Super believes that ages and transitioning through stages are very flexible. The good news is that we can probably expect to see the next #1 breakup song in about 3 months or less.
Hello and welcome back to Weekend Update. I'm your host, Aries. And as you know, when you gaze out on the wonderful skyline of our cityscape here in Athens, you can't help but revel in the beauty of the grand archways that provide support and beauty for our wonderful society. And here to talk with us today about those very things is the grand architect of our Parthenon itself, Inictus. Great man. We're real happy to have him here this evening. Well, folks, unfortunately it appears that Inictus has some more important and arguably less morally scrupulous plans for his Saturday evening. We do apologize about that, but my producers do tell me that if you'd like to talk with him in person, he'll be turning up with his boy Dionysus at Club Aphrodite this evening, so swing on by and see what's going on. Don't stay too late, that might get weird. But, you know, I'm really not sure what we're going to do now. We're going to have some time to kill, but... Well, we're always on our toes here at Weekend Update, and we found a guest that's arguably even more relevant than Inictus himself. This person has not only one, but 2 arches, both of which are golden. Our very own representative from our local McDonald's franchise, Anand K. So, first off, welcome to the program.
Hi.
So, how you doing tonight? So, let me ask you this. Does it surprise you at all that we even have a McDonald's in ancient Greece?
Well, yeah, the complete lack of refrigeration makes it pretty hard to serve a McFlurry, and no one knows what the drive-thru is for, and it's like I'm not even supposed to be here. But it's as if my entire life is an anachronism.
You know what, now that you mentioned that lack of refrigeration, that would explain why my Greek yogurt is always spoiled, but your personal existential crises are saddening and really unfortunate, quite frankly. However, now that we've gotten those hard-hitting journalistic questions out of the way, why don't you tell us a little about yourself and how you ended up with the old McDonald's?
Actually, I'm currently studying philosophy at Athens University, and I needed to find something that could help cover my expenses.
So I imagine it must be pretty difficult to balance work with a tough academic schedule like that.
Definitely. I need an occupation that would be flexible with scheduling to give me time to focus on my studies. I also connect really well with people, so I do a pretty good job making the customers happy whenever they come in. Overall, it's really not that bad of a gig.
So as riveting as that all sounds, and as the food industry must be, you must have looked into a research assistant position within your department. I mean, you just had to. Come on.
Yeah, looked into it. But, you know, budget cuts. So the department's only looking to hire upperclassmen. So I'm pretty much stuck.
Well, that sounds pretty terrible.
Actually, it's not that bad. It fits what I need right now, and it's a viable option in today's society. Plus, I'm still weighing my eventual career options. I like philosophy. I really do. But I could see myself doing something else, like personnel management. And if I stick around long enough, I could get a promotion here and become a manager. Then I might start thinking about delving into business, maybe? We'll see. I'm pretty young still, and I've got time to explore.
Wow, you know, it's almost like your career development forms an archway of its own, with one pillar taking into account your personal variables, your needs and your values, all those things that make up you. And it's like the other encompasses everything about society, the way things are working right now.
Sure.
And it's like they meet in the middle, with the connecting piece that takes into account your stage of development, all held together with the keystone of your self-perception.
Whoa.
And it's almost like I'm referencing a theory that won't even be developed for another millennium. Well then, that's all the time we have here at Weekend Update. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Join us next week for more nonsensical discussions of journalistic issues, and until then, have fun.
More breaking news. I was just informed that parents have gathered with the man who was kicked out of Disneyland just outside of the park to have him teach their kids more about Super's developmental tasks. Some of these kids are already aged 14 to 18 and in the crystallization stage where they are generating a general career goal.
And welcome back to this final segment of Weekend Update. Now, while we had originally planned to have Mr. Donald Super himself to explain the remaining parts of his theory, my executive producer just told me minutes ago that that is not possible due to the occasion of his death. However, we were able to quickly go out on the street and find someone who had some knowledge of Mr. Super himself, and we have found a guest for this segment. Welcome.
You guys can call me Donald Stuber. What's up, America? Hey.
Hello, welcome to the show. So, I was hoping that you could tell me something about the Mr. Super's life stage model.
Well, it's a complicated process, but I like to think of it as a rainbow.
What could possibly go wrong? So what does this mean? Is this two-dimensional graphic schema that presents a longitudinal dimensional lifespan, referred to as a maxi-cycle, and corresponding major life stages that are a mini-cycle?
You just used some really big words right there, and I am not in the mental condition to answer it like that. But let me break it down for you. See, I was on the street corner the other day and I drew up this little diagram for us right here. If you look across the rainbow, you'll see the life cycle process, the max cycle, as you will, as you progress through a series of developmental stages. In this space in the middle with all the really pretty colors, that's your life space and the various different occupations that you might work in your adult life. Success in any one of these areas means you'll have more likely to be successful than others. Everything just kind of works together. The world is one.
So what you're saying is that success in one aspect can lead to another as we transition through these different roles and stages through our lives.
Totally.
I have to say that was far more insightful than I was expecting from you, Mr. Stuper. Anything else to add? Okay.
I'm hungry. I want to go to Taco Bell.
And that is Stuper's life stage model using the rainbow diagram. And that is our weekend update, folks. Have a good one.
We broke the news and have nothing left to tell you. Have a nice night, everybody.